learning can look like magic, but it's the result of hard work. These lessons will teach you the basics, but only through practice will you become a tenor drummer. Pipe band music is divided into parts. The first time through is called the piano part. Then it's usually repeated, and that's the forte part. In most pipe bands, the lead snare drummer plays the piano part alone, with the other snares just adding accents. On the forte, all of the snares join in to play the part. The piano is soft, the forte is loud. The first time through, tenors play a rhythm pattern. In the forte, they flourish. As with any other musical instrument, written music is a must. It's an important tool for teaching and memorization. Basic notes and rest values are the same as in other music, although there are some basic differences. Instead of a staff, there's only one line. A note above the line is the right hand hitting the drum, below the line is the left hand. The hand that isn't hitting the drum is usually flourishing. When both hands flourish, it can be written as a rest or as a symbol for the movement. The accompanying booklet with this video contains symbols and designations I use in my music. It also contains more detailed explanation of music theory. To simplify music for tenor drumming, 2 4s, 4 4s, and 6 8s can be written as 4 4s. 4 beats per measure, 4 measures per part, 16 beats total. 3 4s have 3 beats per measure, 4 measures per part, for a total of 12 beats. Always start by hitting the drum with your right hand, but for your first lesson, you won't need your drum. The first thing we need to talk about is selecting drumsticks. As you walk around the Scottish Games and go to all the different shops, there are a wide variety of sticks that you come across. There are some that have small shafts that are medium length. Then there are ones with thick shafts that are fairly long. Or there are ones with cane shafts that are fairly narrow. When you're selecting drumsticks, you should pay attention to the length. The proper length for a drumstick is between 8 and 9.5 inches. If you're a smaller person, of course, you want to go more towards the 8. If you're a larger person, you want to go more towards 9.5. Having a flexible shaft is very important. If this doesn't flex, you're going to get an unpleasant sound on the drum. You want it to have a little bit of give. You also want to have a padded head. That will help the sound on the drum. And you want to have a bead at the end that you can grab onto when you want to stop the sticks. These sticks are a bit long. The bead on the end is a little bit big, and I think this would be an uncomfortable stick to try to play. The cane sticks are really beautiful sticks. The shafts are flexible, they have a nice bead, nice padded head, but the shafts break easily. So you have to be very careful with them, and you always need to have a backup if you're going to choose this style of stick. Now we come to strings. Strings are one of the most important part of the stick, because you're going to be using these, and these are going to be in contact with your hands. You don't want something that's uncomfortable. The best things to use are shoelaces for athletic shoes. Now, you want to find something that's cotton, not polyester. Cotton is nice and soft, has give to it, and polyester is rather rough. So you want to select something that's cotton, something that's nice and soft. Now, with cotton strings, you'll have to be changing them often because they tend to get dirty. The other thing that you might want to try is parachute cord. Parachute cord has a middle part that makes it strong. So when you're cutting the strings, you want to take this middle section out. The things that you shouldn't use are the round shoelaces. Those can dig into your fingers and be quite uncomfortable. Also, leather laces are not very good. They also cut into your hands and bind and can be disastrous. As far as putting the strings on your sticks, you want to sew them on. So you loop the string around and sew them very close so that there's not much play. Now, to find out the proper length, there are two ways of putting strings on your finger. You want to start by putting it on your little finger, looping it over the back and under your index finger so that the stick hangs down. You want the stick to be fairly tight against your hand. If this is hanging straight down, the strings are too long. And your hand should be comfortable. Your fingers shouldn't be all scrunched together. So you want it to be comfortable, but you want it to be tight. Now, the other way that you can put them on your hands, if you're afraid that you're going to lose them, is you can cross them over. Put them on the second finger, and then put them around your index finger. Again, this is nice and tight, but your hands are still loose. You don't have to worry about your hands being all bound up. Now, there are people who say that you should loop them over and put them on your fingers, but this makes it so that your hands can't be comfortable and you lose a lot of control. So the best way is to put them on over your little finger and up around your index finger. Okay? And of course, when you're sizing these for the drumstick, you sew this part on first, wrap them around your hand, and pull it so that it's where you want it, and then pin this off and sew at the pin. And then you cut it off so that you don't have the excess hanging over. The next thing we need to talk about is drum straps. The most common drum strap I've run across in pipe bands is a web one, like this one. The problem with web is it's nice and soft, so that it conforms around your shoulder and actually puts a lot more pressure on your shoulder than you really want. So you should think twice about using a web strap. The best type of strap to use is something that's thick leather. Thick leather gives a lot of support. You would think that softer leather would be better, but that's not the case. This model has a strap that goes around your waist to distribute the weight. If you have any sort of shoulder problems or back problems, this might be a better choice for you because it distributes the weight of the drum to your hips as opposed to your back. This strap is probably the best one. It's nice and solid, and you don't have to worry about the weight being distributed. This is going to distribute the weight for you properly. Now, you put the strap over your shoulder, pull it down tight. Now, if you're wearing a belt, you might want to take the belt and bring it up over. That means that the strap can't go anywhere. It's on there, it's not moving. Most people, when they start off, have a problem with the drum swinging back and forth. And if you wear a belt over top, or you use the strap with the waist belt, that will keep the drum really solid. Now, when you put the drum on, you want to hook it on here, and you want to make sure that your drum isn't too low. This is about the proper height for a drum. It's very common for a person just beginning to drum to wear the drum so that the leg rest is far too low on the leg. But you want the drum in a nice position where you can hit it with sticks easily. This is about the right height. So, remember, you want sticks with flexible shafts, a nice padded head. You want a bead on there that will be easy to catch but won't get in the way when you're spinning the sticks around. About a 1/4 inch shaft is the best. You want a nice leather drum strap that will distribute the weight properly. You want strings that are comfortable, and you want the drum at the right height. So when you have all those things in the proper place and in the proper order, we can get started on the next lesson. Okay, the first thing that we're going to be working on is the 4-beat piano part. And this is the basic 4-beat. You start with your sticks up on your shoulders. Now the first thing you do is bring your right hand, come down and hit the table and bring it out. Take your left hand down and bring it out too. Right hand in and back up to your shoulder, left hand in and up to your shoulder. So it's right, out, left, out, right, in, left, in, right, out, left, out, right, in, left, in. Now the distance between your shoulder and the table and out is approximately the same distance. So you can make the beats very even. Now, you should practice this until it becomes second nature. You shouldn't have to think about this move. And you want to practice it very slowly. So you come down, out, up, up, down, up, down, up. Now, as time goes on, you should be making this into a very fluid movement. Okay? So, be sure you practice this until it becomes second nature, because you're going to be doing this a lot in tenor drumming. Okay. The next thing that we're going to work on is the reverse spin. Now, on a reverse spin, you take a hold of the stick and you throw it back towards your arm. And then you try to keep it going by using your wrist and your fingers. Okay? So, you grab a hold of the stick and you throw it back towards your arm. Okay? And you use your fingers. Now, you don't use your elbows to keep it going. The whole idea in tenor drumming is to use the small muscles in your arms. And if you're using the large muscles in your elbows, you're going to get tired very quickly. So, you want to use your wrist and your fingers to keep the stick going. Now, you're going to want to practice the most with your left hand if you're right-handed. The left hand always gives you the most problems because you're not used to using it. And it can get quite uncoordinated. And so you need to practice twice as much with your right hand, with your left hand as you do with your right hand. So you want to keep the stick going around. Notice that my elbows aren't moving. And that my fingers and my wrist are doing most of the work. Now, for practice sake, you want to try to get your stick as close to your arm as you can. Now, this is going to be just for practice. And after a while, you'll gain control. Now, the strings might start to bind up, and that's because you're working too hard. If you find that the strings are twisted, stop, shake them out, and start again. And this time, try not to use so much energy. Because if the strings are binding up, that means that you're just trying too hard. So you need to relax a little bit and not worry so much about it. Okay. Now, you want to practice you want to practice both at the same time. And the easiest way to do this is to sit in an easy chair, put your elbows on the arms of the chair, and just get the sticks going. And it's best to do this while watching television or something where you don't really have to think much about what the sticks are doing. And then that way, it becomes second nature and you don't have to think so much about it. Okay, now we're going to move on to the forward spin. You're going to hold on to the stick again, and then instead of throwing it backwards, you're going to throw it forwards on the inside of your arm. And this is going to be almost like a waving goodbye motion. You're going to be waving goodbye with your hand. Now, you notice that my elbow isn't moving again. Now, your thumb should hang down so that it doesn't get in the way of the stick. And you notice that my wrist and my finger are doing all of the work, so that I can do this for quite a long time, because it takes a lot less energy using small muscles than large muscles. So again, you want to try to get the stick as close to your arm as you can to learn how to gain control. Now, one of the things that beginners most commonly do on this move is they clench their fist up, and you can't make the stick keep going around if your hands are tight. So you want your hands to be nice and relaxed and open. Don't hold on to the strings. Now you notice that my index finger is around where the string is going around. Now that's so it doesn't fly off, and that's all that you need. You don't need your hands to be all tight and clenched. So you should work with your left hand and your right hand and do the same thing. Sit in an easy chair, put your elbows on the arms, and practice until this becomes a natural move. And you really don't want your elbows moving around at all. Okay? Now the next thing that we're going to work on is called in, out, up. Now what you're going to do is you're going to hit the table. You're going to take your fingers and flip the sticks on the inside of your hand. So it's going to go on the inside, outside. Okay? Give that a try. Inside, outside. Then you're going to come up to your shoulders. So it's inside, outside, up. Inside, outside, up. Okay? Try that a couple of times. Slowly though. Inside, outside, up. Now that you have that pretty well down, try inside, outside, down. Okay, you come from your shoulders, you go on the inside of your arm, outside, and down. Try that a couple of times. Now, again, don't let your elbows move around. If your elbows move around, it really can make this into a mess. So what you want to do is you just want your wrists to do the movement. Inside, outside, up. Inside, outside, down. Inside, outside, up. Inside, outside, down. Now, don't go inside, outside, up. It should be a steady movement up and a steady movement down. So don't get caught in the middle there. It should be very steady, very flowing. Again, your wrists are doing all the work. And at the beginning part, you can use your fingers to flip the sticks over. Bring them up and bring them down. So, you need to work on this until this movement feels very, very natural. Now, don't let your wrists turn over. When you bring it up, your hands are just going back and forth like this. They're not going around. That's a very common problem that beginners have. So you just want your wrists to move your hands from the inside to the outside. So it's from the inside to the inside to the outside. So it's just a movement like this. And the one on the way down, you do get a little bit of a circular motion. But try to make that motion as small as possible, because you want this to look effortless. You don't want it to look like you're doing a lot of work. Okay. One of the things to practice when you practice doing all of these swings is to be able to catch the stick. Catching the stick isn't hard because you have the bead right there where your thumb can hit it. So you want to be able to catch the stick. Now, it's important when you come up that you catch the stick before you hit yourself on the back. You certainly don't want the sticks bouncing off your back. So when you get past the inside, outside, up, you want the sticks to be caught up here, and then inside, outside, down. You want to catch the sticks on the way down. So concentrate on not moving your elbows, having your wrist be in control, and also catching the sticks. Okay, so what we've learned so far is the piano part. So that's out, out, up, up, out, out, up, up. You've learned the reverse swing using your wrist and your fingers to keep the stick going around, not moving your elbows, and the forward spin. Keeping your hand open, using your wrist and your finger, and not moving your elbows. And then inside, outside, up, inside, outside, down. So that's what you should be working on. Next thing we're going to work on is singles. Now, singles can be one of the most difficult things that you'll ever learn. They're frustrating, they're a real pain. So you want to take it slowly. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to do that reverse spin. So you're going to hit, do the reverse spin, and hit with your left hand, do the reverse spin. Now, this may really seem like you're trying to rub your stomach and pat your head, but once you work on it a little while, it'll get easier. Okay? Now, remember, you want to bring your hand up, hit. Now, you want to be more worried about hitting the drum or hitting the table than spinning the stick around. So you want to concentrate on getting nice, even beats. Now the stick should only spin around about twice. Now the most common problem is people trying to put too many spins in. Now just take it easy and take it slowly. So you want to keep nice, even beats. Now, you don't want your arms in. You don't want to do your singles like this. You want to relax your shoulders. You want to stand up straight. You want to get your elbows out a little bit and have a nice relaxed movement. Now, if you notice, when I come down to hit, before I even hit, the stick is going back up in the other direction. So you hit and come up, so that you never clump your stick down on the table or on the drum. So it's always a nice light movement. Now, once you get it to where you feel comfortable, you can start adding doubles. Now, a double is hitting with the same stick twice. Now, instead of just going, you want to add a little bit to that. You want people to notice that you're hitting those doubles. Now, again, you want to concentrate on the beats and not on the swing. Because, of course, the beats at this point are more important. Now, the stick only goes around about twice. Don't speed up. Nice and even. Now, if you find yourself getting frustrated with this, set the sticks down. Go find something else to do. Relax. Don't worry about it. Come back to it later. You'll find that when you come back, it's a lot easier to do. And just don't get uptight about all this. Now, when you've got doubles down and singles down, try combining them into paradiddles. Paradiddle starts off with a right hand, left hand, and then you do a double. Then your left hand comes down, right hand, left hand does a double. So it's right, left, double, left, right, double, right, left, double, left, right, double. Now, like I said, you want to make sure that your elbows aren't in. You want your elbows out a little bit. You want your shoulders to be relaxed. Okay? So you want your shoulders to be out a little bit. You want your hands in front of your face. You don't want your hands out to the sides. You want them towards the middle. And the point where you hit on the table or on the drum should be very small. You shouldn't be hitting to the outer edges. So you want to keep the place on the table, a small space, and you want to bring your sticks up to the middle. So, after you get tired of doing all those singles and doubles and paradiddles, why don't we work on a thing called a cartwheel? You start up on your shoulder, and you throw the sticks forward. Now, when you throw the sticks forward, you want to make 2 little circles with your hands, okay, in this motion. Now you can start off big, and then tighten those 2 little circles up. Okay? Now, you'll notice that my elbows are out. If your elbows are in, the sticks aren't going to stay straight. So you want your elbows to be out and about the same height. If one of them slumps, you're going to end up with something that doesn't look very good. So start slowly with a nice big circle and slowly bring it in until you have 2 small circles working around each other. By having, instead of keeping your hands at the same place and going around, having the 2 circles keeps the sticks about the same distance apart so that you have a nice cartwheel effect. Now, take it easy, take it slow. If you find that the sticks are binding up, you're working way too hard. You notice that my elbows aren't moving. It's all in my wrists. Now, my hands are facing down. You don't want your hands up. You want them in a nice, comfortable position. A lot of beginners make the mistake of bringing their hands up or having their hands drop. Both of those are very uncomfortable positions, and you don't want to be in that habit. So you want your hands to be relaxed and to be open, and you want a minimal amount of effort. Okay, so you start up on your shoulders, throw the sticks forward, and get them going around. And you have your hands going around each other. Palms are to the ground, thumbs are in, so that they're not in the way of the sticks. And you want your elbows to be out and at the same height. Now, it's really important to practice by looking in a mirror, to see that your elbows are in the proper place, that the sticks are going around the way that they should be. And if you see something that doesn't look right, try to figure out what's wrong and try to work on it and try to fix it. Okay? So, what we've learned in this lesson is singles, that you should take your time and relax and worry about getting nice even beats. And then, when you feel like you've got that, add another beat. And then, try paradiddles. It's right, left, double, left, right, double, right, left, double. And then when you get frustrated with that, work on your cartwheel. Keep your elbows out, your palms down, and make those two little circles. Try to keep those sticks even. Don't go too fast. If the strings twist up, try to relax and try not to work so hard. Have the drum on, and I'm all ready for our first practice session. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 parts. That means 4 piano parts and 4 forte parts. The piano part, we're going to start off very slowly. And as you've been practicing, we're going to start off very stiff. But as this exercise progresses, what I want you to try to do is to relax and make the blows a little more glancing, and try to get your piano parts to flow. All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 parts of the basic piano part that we learned in the first lesson, and our forte parts are going to be the singles, doubles, paradiddles, and then the in, out, up movement. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a single, single, in, out, up, in, out, down. Single, single, in, out, up, in, out, down. Okay? Let's give this a try. And remember, go nice and slow. Try to follow along. Put your sticks up on your shoulder. Okay, now, we're going to start with the piano part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, give that a try. Nice and slow. Take it easy. And go over that until you feel comfortable with it. Then we're starting lesson number 3. We're going to work on, to begin this lesson, is a different kind of piano part than we did last time. This is a 3-beat piano part, and it's used in 3/4s and sometimes in slow airs. So, to begin, I'm going to hold on to the sticks, and you're going to go right, left, right, then left, right, left. That's right, left, right, left, right, left. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Make these loops nice and big. So it's right, left, right, left, right, left. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Now, practice these so that you get to be comfortable with them. It can be a little confusing at first, so take your time. So remember, you go to the right, to the left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. So practice that until you become comfortable with it and you don't have to think about it. The thing about piano parts that you want to remember is half of the tune is piano parts. And as easy as you can make them for yourself, the easier it is to remember the forte parts that come up on you. Okay, the next thing that we're going to work on is called a split the feather. Now, you've learned this reverse swing. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to spin them both at the same time with your hands close together. This is called a split the feather. What you want to do is get them both going together at the same time. Now, if you brought them right together without varying the speed, of course, the sticks will hit. So what you do is you get one hand going just a little bit behind the other. Now, you want your palms to face down, your thumbs to be together. You don't want to be like this. You don't want to let your hands get to be too flat. So you want your palms facing down. The most common mistake is to allow your hands to flip over. So you want your elbows out at a comfortable distance, and if you notice, my hands are going almost opposite of one another. It's almost like in those old westerns where they're driving the stagecoach. But slowly bring your sticks up and bring your hands together and see if you can get them going in a nice rhythmical motion like this. Now, you're going to be doing this move quite a bit, so it's very important to become comfortable with it. So this is another thing that you need to practice with your arms on a chair so that your elbows aren't moving. Okay? Remember, your palms should be flat, your hands should be open. You want your hands to be very relaxed. Okay. The next thing that we're going to do is something to add on to the in, out, up, in, out, down that we were working on in the last lesson. So, you want the in, out, up, in, out, down. Now, we're going to do something that's sort of tricky. What we're going to do is for the in, out, up, we're going to cross our arms over. So it's going to be in, out, up. Now this looks trickier than it is. What you need to concentrate on is just doing that in, out, up motion that you practiced. So you go in, out, up, in, out, up. Now, when you put your arms together to do this, you don't want your hands too far apart. You're going to hit yourself, okay? You just want your wrists to cross, and then that way you can move your elbows out of the way. Okay? In, out. In, out. So, you go in, out, and up. Now, when you practice this, you want to make it a continuous motion from here to here. So, you want to have it flow. So, you take your arms, cross them, in, out, come to your back. Now, when you feel comfortable doing the in, out, up, try doing in, out, down. So, when you come down, you cross again, trying to keep your elbows in a little bit. This is the only move that you really need to bring your elbows in for. And you want to practice in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, down. So practice that until it becomes a continual motion. Now you might want to practice this move looking in a mirror, because that's the easiest way to see if you're doing something that doesn't look very good. So the thing that you need to remember when you're practicing this is to keep your wrists fairly close together. Having it done this way doesn't look very nice. So keep your wrists together and keep it nice and smooth. So practice in, out, up, in, out, down. So to review, we've worked on a rhythm beating in 3-beat, which can be used for a 3/4, and that was 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we worked on split the feather. You'll hit the drum with both hands and come up. Now, you want your thumbs together, your hands pointing towards the ground. You want your fingers open, and you want your elbows out a little bit. You want to be relaxed. You want the sticks to not be going too fast. You want to keep everything nice and slow and easy. And then work on doing crossovers, and that's in, out, up, in, out, down, in, out, up, in, out, down. Well, you have plenty to work on, so practice hard and don't get frustrated. If you get frustrated, set your sticks down, walk away until you're nice and relaxed, and then come back to it later. ready for practice session number 2. Now, we've just gone over split the feathers and crossovers. So, what we're going to do is practice a 3/4. If you remember, a 3/4 has 12 beat parts. Okay? So, we're also going to be using that 3-beat piano part that we just learned. So, let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, practice that slowly, and when you feel comfortable with it, you can go on to the next lesson. It's now time for lesson number 4. In this lesson, we're going to learn a regimental 4-beat, which is similar to the 2 that we've done. You start off going to the right, so you start off with your right hand, as always. It's right, left, right, left. So this is very much to the right-hand side. It's similar to the 3-beat, but it only goes to the right. So it's right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you should practice this until you become comfortable in doing it. Keep the loops nice and big. Now, what will happen eventually, after you practice this for a while, is that you'll add singles to the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So practice that until you're comfortable with it. The next thing that we'll work on is something that augments your cartwheel. And this is a throw out. Throw-outs are when you move your hand away and come back in. Now if you notice, I'm just moving my hand from the center out, from the center out. I'm not moving my arm. I'm just moving from the elbow. Okay? So when the stick gets to the bottom of the swing, you take your hand and move it out and move it back in. Sometimes it's easier to try this doing both hands. That way you don't have to worry about your right hand or your left hand and how awkward they feel. The important thing to remember in trying this move is that the stick that's going around is the stick that you should concentrate on, not the stick that's being thrown out, so that the stick keeps on going. Oftentimes what happens is you throw the stick out and then you forget to keep this one going. And then there's nothing to come back into. So, you want to take the stick out and bring it back in. Concentrate on that stick that's going around to keep it the same. Now, you don't want to go in and speed up. You want it all to be done rather smoothly. So, you want to concentrate on keeping those sticks going around and try to get this to be smooth. Another common mistake that's made when you're trying to learn this move is to bring your arm back and then back in. Of course, I'm over-exaggerating this, but you don't want the stick to go any further than just taking your hand and moving it to the side. You don't want to go back. You don't want to move your arm to the side. It's just this part of your arm from your elbow up that moves. The next move that we're going to work on is, it appears to be a lot more difficult than it really is. Once you get it, it'll seem so simple that you'll never understand why you had a problem with it in the first place. It's called a butterfly. Start off with holding on to both sticks. Now, this stick, the right stick, is going to be the lead one. And what's going to happen is, I'm going to loop it around over my left, and then the left stick is going to follow it. Now, I'm going to bring it back, and what I'm going to be doing is pretty much a figure 8 that's been bent in the middle. So I'm going to do the top part of the 8, and then I'm going to bring this down and do the bottom part of the 8. The bottom part of the 8 goes underneath my elbows. So there's a loop over the top and a loop under the bottom. A loop over the top, a loop under the bottom. Now, to keep your hands from flipping over and doing all sorts of weird things, it's very common for teachers to have you hook your thumbs together so that your hands can't flip over and go through all sorts of contortions. So give this a try. Some people find it difficult to learn it this way, but this way it makes it so your hands stay where they're supposed to stay. So you do the loop over the top and the loop under the bottom. Loop over the top, loop under the bottom. Over the top, under the bottom. So you don't want your hands to get separated. You always want to keep them flat. So let me show you the move once you have it down. The move will end up being like this. But when you first start practicing it, practice it together with the sticks together. Be sure you get that loop underneath. The loop underneath is the important part. Very often what happens is people just keep going around on the top and they don't quite understand why it doesn't look right. Be sure you make sure there's a full loop on the bottom. Okay? Now, go over the top and you scoop down on the bottom. Don't let this move get you frustrated. Just keep on working on it, keep on practicing, and don't let yourself get upset about it. If it gives you any problems, set the sticks down, walk away. So practice that, and I'll be back for your next lesson. Now we're ready for the next practice session. Now we're going to work on transition moves, crossovers, butterflies, and we're going to add in that regimental 4-beat that we've just been working on. And we're going to do this to a 4/4 march. Now, we're going to add a single spin to the basic piano beat. So we're going to start off with the basic piano beat and do the regimental piano beat the second time through. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Practice this, and when you feel comfortable with it, you're ready to go on to the next lesson. Now we're starting lesson number 5. In this lesson, we'll talk about adding flourishes to your piano parts, and we'll also talk about some transition moves. In the basic piano part, if you remember, we were doing a plain 4 beat. Well, it's time to add a single swing to that. Don't let the stick spin around too many times. Take it nice and easy. Your stick speed should go with the music. If the sticks are spinning faster than the music tempo, it's not going to look very good. So what you want to do is try to keep your stick speed going with the tempo of the music. Now, another thing that you can do with piano parts is to add singles in with your piano. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That can be used very effectively in a lot of marches, and it gives a little bit of variety for you. Now, the next thing that we should talk about is transitions. Transition from split the feather into a cartwheel can actually be done rather easily by pulling your sticks apart a little bit and lifting up your elbows. So, let's try that again. Doing a split the feather, pull the sticks apart a little, and lift up your elbows, and bring the sticks around. Try to make that a nice smooth transition. Try to keep the sticks going at the same speed. Now remember, your elbows are the key to this. So you want to look in the mirror and make sure that your elbows are moving at the same time. If you do this lopsided, it's not going to look very good. So concentrate on moving your arms at the same speed. Now, once you're in this cartwheel, all you need to do to go back into split the feather is pull your sticks apart and drop your elbows down again, bring your hands back together. Now, this is the much harder of the two transitions, because you seem to have more control over the sticks in a cartwheel than generally you do in a split the feather. So take that nice and easy and slow. Pull your hands apart, drop your elbows down. Now, you should practice these two until they become second nature to you. Okay, the next thing we'll work on is roll-offs. The beginning of a tune is very important. You want to make sure that you're standing up straight. There's nothing worse than a person who's slumping over. So you stand up straight, you put the sticks up in a St. Andrew's cross. Your sticks shouldn't be like this. Your elbows should be out, you should be nice and comfortable. So, to start off the tune, the pipe major will generally call off by the right, quick march. This gives you the tempo for the tune. The snare drummers will then play a roll. The bass drummers will play 3 beats and then pause, and then 3 more beats, and the tune will start. So, tenor drummers should do the same thing that the bass drummer does. So it's right, left, both. Split the feather. Right, left, both. Split the feather. Now, on this roll-off, it's the beginning of the tune. It's the beginning of your presentation. So, you want to remember that this is your first impression. The first impression people get of you is going to be from your roll-off. You want it to be sharp and not sloppy. So you want to make sure that you bring your sticks up like you mean business. And then you start into your piano part. So always remember, the beginning of the tune is the crowd's first impression of you. So make sure that your roll-offs are good. Also important is the end of the tune, because people will remember if the end was good long after the performance is over. So when you finish at the end, you likewise want to stop and put your sticks in a cross. So the last beat of the tune, 15, 16, and then keep your sticks there for a few seconds and then bring them down. Some bands come up in a St. Andrew's cross at the end. Other bands come down into a cross on their drums. Either way is acceptable, but no matter how you finish, it should be just as sharp and just as flashy as how you start. So before you start marching or before you start doing anything else at the end of a tune, make sure you hold that there for a few beats to let people know that, gee, this is the finish, this is a good performance. Congratulations, you've made it this far. And now what we're going to work on is a 6/8 march. And we're going to try to combine a lot of different elements into this. We're going to take the regimental 4-beat that we just learned and add some flourishes to it. And we're going to work on our transition moves, trying to make everything smooth and trying to make everything work out and flow together. Okay, since we just learned a roll-off, why don't we try a roll-off for this one? So put your sticks up in the ready position. Okay. By the right, quick march. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, work on that. Practice it until everything is nice and smooth. And be sure that you go over it and over it again. Now, if you've noticed, there's a little bit of a ring to it, a little bit of an overtone. That's real important because the overtones in the bass drum and the tenor drum build a good foundation for a pipe band. If it has a dead, thumpy sort of sound, you don't get the right bass and tenor sound, your band will suffer in ensemble. Now, this drum has a muffler, as you can see through the bottom head, that you can look for in your local drumming store. These are real convenient and they're easy to install. So that's probably your best option. Your other option is to take pieces of sheeting and put strips across the top of the drum, not in the center, but across the top portion. You put the rim back on and pull it tight and then tighten it down. And if you do that on the top and the bottom, that should get the muffling that you're looking for. And then experiment with it a little. The best thing to do is to have someone, while the band is playing, to have someone else in the band hit it while the band is playing. Now walk away from the band and walk around and see how it sounds. If it sounds too high, sounds too low, make your adjustments. If it has too much ring, you want to add a little more muffling. If it sounds too dead, you want to take some of the muffling out. The next thing we're going to talk about is marching. Now, a lot of people have problems with marching, and there are a few things that you need to remember. You have this drum hanging from a strap on your shoulder. The easiest thing to do is to put a belt around your waist so that the drum is solid and isn't going anywhere. You really need a good leg rest on your drum, and these small rubber leg rests work very well. Now, when you march, you want to keep the leg that has the drum on it a little bit stiff, almost as if you have problems with your knee. Now, the other foot or the other leg can go pretty much as it always does, but you need to push the drum along with the leg that the drum is on. So you push it. So you need to be a little more careful about the leg that has the drum on it. So you get sort of a pushing motion. And see, the drum doesn't move around very much. Practicing with the drum is very important. So practice your marching and make your drum sound good.
By the right, quick march. to the right. Quick, mark. Fire to the right. Quick, mark.
Some things to remember. Think things through. Number 2, be critical. Look in a mirror, see what you're doing, and think, does this look right, and how can I make it look better? Number 3, don't hesitate to ask other people. When you see someone doing a move that you can't do, go up and ask them. You'll find that people are very friendly and very helpful. Number 4, be creative with what you've learned. We've given you a lot of information. Now it's up to you to use it. And the most important thing is to have fun. I'd like to give a special thanks to Piper John Mackey and to my instructors, Robert Mead and Matt McConnell. This video is dedicated to the memory of Catherine Waldemar.